was just hoping that you could help me move through what seems to be a little bit of a block I've got going on. I want to move my business forward, and I keep feeling like I am going to bump up against restrictions to my freedom. Like, if the business is successful, it will mean that I've lost a lot of my personal freedom. And so I'm trying to decouple that and be able to look at it like my business is creating more freedom for me the more successful that it is. So if you could just help me kind of reframe that and put it in Abraham speak, I would really appreciate it.
We're happy to answer your question, and we're going to do it from two approaches, and you will recognize each of them, and you will recognize why we are doing that in this leading edge broadcast that we are having together today. As you think about your business, expanding it, adjusting it, moving it, attracting more, and you stumble across a logical consideration that if you make your business more, then you will have more to do in your business. And so then you've stumbled across the idea that you will not feel as much freedom. Now feel the logical sequence and how that all came about. Before the conversation that we started with you here today, our usual response to this question, it comes to us often, would be, you cannot focus upon your toes of freedom being stepped upon at the same time that you're thinking about the desire you hold for expanding your business. Think about our friend who earlier said, you cannot focus upon pleasure and pain at the same time. And yet you are trying to do that here. You are presenting to us wanting a more robust business for the pleasure of the financial freedom and the pleasure of finding more things to be interested in and the pleasure of more energy flowing through you. And then you focus upon the pain of not feeling free. And you just can't do both things at the same time. They don't go together. So that's the usual way that we would answer this question, and did. So now we want to springboard from the way this broadcast has been going here today. And we want to make it oh so simple, oh so much more simple. Do you think that your inner being is aware of what you want business-wise, freedom-wise, in fact, in every aspect of your life? The answer to that is yes. Your inner being knows. Your inner being has been with you in every moment that you've been launching rockets of desire, and your inner being is fully focused upon all of them and is summoning the energy that creates worlds toward them. Did you hear what we just said? Your creations are in a much more completed form than you know, and your inner being is focused upon them. Doesn't it feel logical to you right now, more logical than ever before in your life, that if you just performed a simple function, and that is trying to tap into the perception of your inner being, that would release all resistance? That is the only thing that is keeping you from what you want. So let's back up a little bit. Through the years that we've been talking with you, many of you have been with us for years. We've been helping you choose thoughts that feel better. Now we're asking you to put the first things first and choose alignment with your inner being, who always, always is focused upon what you want. It's a shortcut. We could take all the situations that you wrote to us about, mostly about love gone bad, lover leaving, I want to leave my lover, I love him but I'm not in love anymore, I don't have enough money, I want to write a best-selling book. I want to feel better in my body. I want more energy in my body. I could use a lot more money. I'm not really sure of what I want. I don't have enough friends. I'm very lonely. I'm an only child. I need to take care of my parents. I don't really want to take care of my parents. I have a physical condition. Now we're just receiving from you as you are broadcasting to us now. And what we're saying to all of you, we so want you to hear this, is that, yes, there are processes that would soothe some of this discomfort. We've given them to you. But you have to make a decision. So we're going to put it to you really in a straightforward way. Are you or are you not an extension of non-physical energy? You are. Do you or do you not have an inner being who is aware of you in every moment that you perceive anything? Yes. You are an extension of that inner being who is aware of everything that you are about. So as you experience a moment in time with someone in a relationship, or as you experience a moment in time without someone feeling lonely, as you are getting what you want in terms of resources or a job that is satisfying or not, in every moment of any of those, getting what you want or experiencing the absence of what you want, your inner being has watched you process and choose your preference, and has gathered those preferences up as a focal point of wanted and never absence of wanted. So here's the next question to you. Do you have a vibrational reality that includes every particle of everything that you deem wanted or preferred? Does it exist as a focal point? Yes. And your inner being is focused upon it and only it, never the absence of it, always. Wow. Everything you want, all bundled up in your vortex, with your inner being focused upon it and cooperative components being gathered to it at every moment. How are you going to be the receiver of what you have sorted through life and told your inner being that you want? Your inner being believed you, focused with you, focused everything that you want into a focal point of certain realization by you. How are you going to gain access to that? By focusing pleasure, not pain. By focusing interest, not boredom. By focusing love, not anger or hate or disappointment. You are a focusing mechanism. And you are an extension of a focusing mechanism. And your intention was to focus and choose and focus and choose and focus and choose and focus and choose. And you've been doing that without exception. 100% of you have been doing that successfully. You have focused and chosen and focused and chosen and focused and chosen. You have focused and chosen. And what you have chosen exists as what we call your vortex. And your inner being is focused there. All you have to do is focus there, but it doesn't mean you have to take every subject. I'm not in love with him, I love him. We're arguing over who's doing what. I don't know how to get my 8-year-old to brush his teeth. Do I ride him hard? What do I do? How do I get people to behave? How do I get my world? How do I get my creation to be pleasurable to me? You realize some simple things, friends. You realize some simple things. You realize that you've been doing step 1 and you've been doing it well. You've been living life and choosing, setting off those rockets of desires. and you realize that you've been doing that part of sifting and sorting and choosing. You couldn't get it wrong. It couldn't be more right. You have been choosing, and your choices exist. So you've been choosing. That's the step one part of the equation. And your choices exist. They are the object of focus of your inner being. That's step two. You chose. Your inner being focused. Step three is line up with that. To wrap it up in a simple way to understand what we're getting at. If you will focus for the emotional content, then you are focusing for the achievement of a point of attraction. And the law of attraction will take care of everything else. And the reason that you can focus for the emotional content or the pleasure is because you've been living lives where you chose the pleasure from the pain in all of those varying degrees. And you launched those rockets into your vortex, and your inner being has been lovingly tending them and focused upon them ever since. So that your inner being has, vibrationally speaking, gathered all of the cooperative components for everything that you desire. And now all you have to do is find the emotional content of that love and that knowing and of that interest. You just have to feel good for a moment and 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 a moment. And you tap into that where it's all been gathered. And now you can begin translating from the purity of that through your physical senses. That's the way, friends, you turn thoughts to things. That's the whole process. That's how it works. That's it. That's all of it.